Flow state, an altered state of consciousness where your garden of ideas flourishes with effortless effort, where time slows down and speeds up simultaneously, where peak performance holds a steady heartbeat and your best ideas come to life. But in order for your garden to thrive, it must be weeded and watered. And without the discipline to do so, you're left waiting for inspiration to strike.
You have probably experienced a time where the hardest part of a project is the part where you actually start the project. And if you think that's relatable, then maybe you should read The War of Art by Steven Pressfield, because in that book, he talks about that as resistance.
Resistance can come in the form of negative thoughts, self-doubt, or procrastination. It is a force that pushes back as you try to take action towards the life that you want to live. Because you must intentionally and actively push past this force in order to achieve your goals, not everyone succeeds. And that's when self-discipline comes in. In The War of Art, Pressfield distinguishes between the amateur and the pro. The amateur waits for inspiration to strike, and in doing so, they often fall prey to procrastination. On the other hand, the pro understands that when you put in the work, inspiration will follow.
Now, let's explore some ways to cultivate self-discipline and in turn achieve flow.
Intertwining your passion with your identity solidifies your commitment to your craft. In my case, my craft is photography and videography. I am a photographer. When I first started, it was hard to say that sentence with confidence, but embracing photographer as part of my identity helped to shape my self-image as someone who consistently picks up their camera. To reinforce an identity, you can shape your environment to nurture your passion so that you remember why the work is indispensable. Another approach to shift your mentality towards discipline is to reframe it as a form of self-love. Sometimes the hard decision to make in the moment is the right decision to make in the long run. And by reminding yourself of that, you can tell yourself that you have to do the work because you love yourself too much to allow yourself not to do the work. Beyond identity and mindset, you also have to take action. Establishing a dedicated time for your craft, whether through a specific time slot or a predetermined duration each day, fosters consistency. Start by dedicating an hour a day to your craft until it becomes a ritual. Some days, when flow hits, the hour will naturally extend.
So, we've all had those moments where we start to work and it feels like we're trudging through mud, nothing's really flowing, the time's going by slow, and you aren't getting anything done. So in those moments, you need to know exactly what it really takes to trigger that flow state.
Currently, there are 22 known triggers for flow state. Today, I'm going to talk about 3 of them. Concentration is a key aspect of flow state. So distancing yourself from distractions plays a huge role when it comes to entering flow. To do this, put your phone on Do Not Disturb and let the people around you know that you will be working. This way, if you do enter that elusive state of mind, you'll do so uninterrupted. If you have been doing your craft for a number of years, then there's a chance that it has lost its novelty. To address this issue, you can create novelty either in your environment or your experience. To create novelty in your environment, just switch up the location that you're getting work done at. To get novelty in your experience, try switching up the projects that you're taking on. If you're a photographer who's been taking portrait photos for X amount of time, maybe it's time you switch it up and try a different type of photography. A prime example of this would be Peter McKinnon. He's been a photographer for over a decade, and recently he decided to make the switch to film photography. When he did this, he reintroduced novelty to his experience as a photographer, and it seems like it has re-sparked his interest in taking photos. The last flow trigger that I'm going to talk about is creativity and pattern recognition. When your mind births a new idea, it gets a surge of neurochemicals, dopamine included. These neurochemicals are the essence of flow. And what this means is when you have a new idea, you better get started on it ASAP. I know it is easier said than done, but the neurochemicals are in your favor, and you're more likely to enter flow state if you start right when you get an idea.
And yeah, with that, that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Until next time, bye.